Hi everyone, we are back on Las Comadres with KROJ 101.5 FM, and we have our guest here, the one and only El Santo del Valle. And then just a brief little description. El Santo del Valle is a local artist born and raised in the San Fernando Valley. El Santo del Valle is the son and grandson of construction workers who influences his Mexican roots and culture into his music, bringing the perspective of the working class Chicano striving to survive in this ever changing world. And so, hi, El Santo del Valle, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you guys for inviting me.
Of course. Thank you for being here. Um, we go back. I met you when you were Saint Sergi.
Yes, that persona is gone.
That persona is gone. Yeah, so many evolutions, right, that we go through as artists, as creatives, and just as people, as human beings. And I love that you embrace being able to step into the version of yourself that you are, and that you can let go of that when the time is necessary, and that you're ready to step into the next version of yourself. And I think there's so much power in that, and knowing when to move on.
Thank you.
And so that is something that I've enjoyed about getting to know you. Even though for me it's been really hard to keep up with your name, and I know a couple of times you've told me like, hey, I don't go by that no more, and I'm just like, I'm so sorry. I respect you. I'm trying, but but yeah, comadre. We've listened to some of
Yeah,
Sergio's.
no, we saw El Santo perform a couple of times at the Witch's Brew once or twice. I think you performed there a couple times, and now the Witch's Brew is a different bar now.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
passed by it.
It's-
It's a sports bar now.
It's like a really mature place now. So not what it was when El Santo was there. But you were also at Chicano Elegance. You were performing there. You performed with Chicana Nat. That was a really beautiful performance. So for those who may not know you, can you please introduce yourself?
First and foremost, the name's been said, but I'm in Santo Del Valle. Exactly what you guys said, born and raised in the San Fernando Valley. I use my talents in music, in arts, and I don't know. I've always had a creative mind. So it's whatever outlet I have, whether it's acting, whether it's doing my music, or whether it's me out of this persona and just being Sergio. It's a construction worker. It's just me in general. I'm just me. I don't know how else to explain it. Once this persona is yourself and you true to yourself, there's no other way to do it than just live. So that's pretty much it.
And how do you live your life as a creative here in the San Fernando Valley?
Do you want the boring schedule, or do you want the artistic?
No, we don't want we want the artistic. We want the real deal. Because there's a lot of striving artists here,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of people that want to have the type of platform that you have, that want to do the type of work that you're doing, but we don't really get to see the nitty and gritty, right?
Yep.
And so of course we want to hear the.
I mean, also, just what you mentioned already is the fact that you evolved from your former self persona, how you were initially started, that you came to a point where you were like, this isn't resonating with me anymore. I'm feeling like this now, and like she said, there's power in doing that on your own, and not like being pushed to change, because I feel like sometimes I'm that type of person, like I have to be pushed into a change. So it's really refreshing to see somebody take ownership of that and say, no, like, this is who I am, this is who I've discovered myself to be. It's very inspiring, because it's really hard to put yourself out there already, and then to put yourself out there and decide this isn't who I am and it's not serving me anymore. That's really powerful. So
Thank you.
yeah, no, it's really admirable. Thank you for that.
Yeah. So tell us, how do you live your life as a creative here in the San Fernando Valley?
Well, first and foremost, you gotta work to fund your thing. It's I learned it the hard way, because I've been doing it for 8 years now, but for the past 6-7 years, I've been doing it not paying anything, not working consistently, just pure focusing on my craft and craft and craft. But aside from the work part, consistency is key. It really helps mold you. It really helps shape you. It really helps you erase, how do you say it? Erase those obstacles that you don't need to take. Then you can have that tunnel vision to know exactly what you want to do, what you want to be, what's the art that you want to do, what's the creative direction, etc., etc. It's just you got to surround yourself with the right people. And at first, everyone's the right person because you don't know what you're doing. You feel this free energy. Okay, yeah, oh, you do this too. Let's work. You do this too. Great. But then, throughout trials and tribulations, doing it for a while, you kind of be, oh, this type of person, it's a bad person. I can't even work with them. Let me push them away. You essentially just circle yourselves back to like a small group.
Drawing those boundaries.
Yep. And you know exactly, okay, that person, you really can't trust them, but they do a good job here. Oh, that person, you can trust all the way, but they're lacking, it's who we are as humans. We're not perfect.
Yeah.
So it's just...
Everybody has their gifts,
Yep.
and everybody has their faults.
Exactly. And so you just gotta, through the years of doing it consistently and nonstop, you're able to know, okay, this is my position. It's like a football team. You know your position. Oh, I can't play quarterback, but I can play defense. That's where I'm best at. You do that. You learn throughout the years. And you just stay strong and stay building and stay doing those reps, build those muscles in that creative process, and you get to be there. And obviously never look at numbers. Never look at the statistics of things. Those don't even matter. As long as you're able to be free with the creative arts, with the craft that you're doing, and you feel like you're releasing that energy inside, it's like a way of having a mental journal when you write your feelings, your thoughts. For me, music is that way. And especially at this current state in time, is a perfect time to do what I'm doing. Because it really helps express myself better. And people, now that they know, aside from our race, now that they've seen us uniting, doing what we got to do, it's just such a perfect time. And I love it. I love the fact that it took me 8 years of my self-doubt, my anxiety, my depression to be where I am now.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to love the journey, and you have to be able to, like that I said, change within that journey and adapt. And I think that's part of the resiliency that we have as Chicanos, is that we learn how to adapt. We learn how to mold ourselves to the current situations that are affecting us. And as creatives, that's something that we face daily, I resonate with a lot of what you said, having to deal with your creative journey. And I think it's really important for people to hear, because it is not just in the music industry. I think it's all around.
It's everything.
Yeah. Where, what current events have influenced your music within the last, you said 8 years?
It's been the fact that there isn't any true representation of what we are. Because the last 8 years, music in general, there wasn't any pop culture Spanish artists until when the 2020s is when it started really popping off.
Yeah.
And then the corrido sounds, just 2 years ago, started popping off too. And if you think about it, it's okay. They're digging this sound so far. What else to that culture? What else does this country has in store? And so it starts having that subdivision of rap. It starts having subdivisions of how can I say? Just the fact that you start seeing more people like us on screen as well.
It opens the door to representation.
Exactly. And something that people haven't been overlooking so far. Let's say you are a specific type of individual that provides only one thing. People don't see that until the doors open, and then there's all these little subdivisions of this little door. You can say, oh, I drive a car, but this is a specific model, the specific brand, the specific that. It's like that. Yeah, we are all in one category of us being Latinos, Hispanics, however you want to name it. But if you really, once that door is open, which it already is, thankfully, and it's like I said, right time, because if I started off fresh and young, I wouldn't have the experience I have today. But now, since I have the experience, if I'm put on the spotlight or if I'm put on the spot, I'm able to do what I'm able to do, and that's perform to my fullest ability. And I have 100% full trust in myself. And I forgot what the question was. I'm just
No,
we were talking. The question was, how do current events influence your music? You know, your artistry. But yeah, I mean, I think your answer is very much in alignment.
No, absolutely.
I'm just a wanderer. You know?
No, and I mean it also seems to influence you in the way that you're able to process your environment with the things that you mentioned, working construction, like that industry right now is very much under the microscope.
Yeah.
So as somebody who works in construction and you are son of a construction worker, grandson of a construction worker, so you've sort of seen the long-term sort of effects of the inequalities into how it affected your grandfather, how it affected your father, and how it's affecting you.
Yes.
So building on that, you come to a place where you're like, no, like I've seen the struggle. I know how hard it is, and I've had my experiences, but now I feel so sure about myself that I can deliver the message I want to deliver about the Chicano community.
Nice. You took something I wasn't able to say. So it's awesome to hear what, from a third person perspective, had to say, because it's refreshing to me, because it's all these self-doubt. Am I even doing it? Am I even worth it, or should I just stay at this safe space of me to just get my contractor's license and just work in construction? This is all I know. You know, I've been helping my dad since the age of 5. He was teaching me, get me so-and-so name of tool. I don't even know what it was, and it took years for me to do it. I was 10 years old. I was helping doing concrete. 15, I was working hard and getting a lot of money. For a 15-year-old, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, my summers, and then to where I am now. So I know the long-term effect. Sure, you get paid, but it's not great for your health. It's not great for your body. A lot of people get diabetes of construction due to the poor health, the way they eat.
The food.
You know, they don't have time to prepare anything, just whatever is there, fast foods, everything.
Unless you have somebody that really cares for you and is willing to get up early. Your daddy worked construction, and my first ex-husband was in construction too. So I remember those mornings
they come back home late and tired. They go to sleep. They wake up, do the same thing. They don't
completely covered in dirt, sweat, and just
concrete,
a lot of frustrations from the day, and it leaves very little time to bond.
But what do they do with that time? My bad for cutting you off.
Go ahead.
But what do they do with that time as soon as they get home? They need to de-stress. What's the best way to de-stress? Alcohol.
Yeah.
Or, worst comes to say for other people that luckily it's not been in my family, aside from my cousins, but they're distant cousins, hard drugs, you know? So
it's an environment where that runs rampant. It's so.
It's an easy way to cope.
Yes,
exactly.
And how to numb the frustrations out. But yeah, like you said, my father, same thing. Grandfather, my father, my brothers now. My brothers are now doing a lot of different work. Some of my brothers are in aviation. Some of my brothers are, building engineers. Some of my brothers are still in construction. I have a brother that builds skyscrapers in Utah, and does the pouring for underground parkings, the concrete. So that work, I know is so hard, and your body gets drained. You come home and you don't want to move, and when I lived in Utah most recently, I saw that firsthand with my brother, and his wife and his children, and how that affects the family unit. And you have a parent who's providing, who's doing their best, but they're distant and they're not able to be a part of, like, actively of the family. And so that's really disheartening.
And they care deeply so much about their families, which is why they're putting themselves through all of these, situations where they're unsafe, or they're not able to take care of their health, or they're not able to bond with their families. But sometimes us as kids don't necessarily understand that. So then we start to feel like, oh, maybe I did something wrong, or I have to try harder. At least for me, like I mean, my parents never worked construction, but I remember feeling like I had to help them in some way. And I understand that is common for us children of immigrants, or first generation immigrants. Like myself, like I felt like the burden of responsibility to help my mother and my father, not just like translating, but like helping them fill out documents. So the construction world is so tough, is so, like she said, it's draining. And like you said, it doesn't leave you time to really do much of anything. But it's so ingrained in our culture that we have to work hard. But you are realizing that, yes, this is hard work and this is in my blood, but it doesn't mean that has to be my reality.
Exactly.
And, like, you're using it to sustain your craft, your creativity.
Yeah. Like, I work, but when I do, I don't have my mindset, oh, this is going to be my life. I just do it. Do what I was told, and do it easily, thankfully, due to the fact, like I said, been doing it for years. My body just does it. I'm just used to it. And but as soon as that's out, I'm out straight to that creative direction, which is great because, like you said, you just have that. We as Chicanos, Latinos, whatever we want to say it, because everyone has their own way of saying it. For me, I just say us Mexicans, but I know it's a broader. Because I work with Guatemalans, I work with Salvadorians, I work with all these other people, which is great because we share one common goal. But I am hardworking in my craft.
I wanted to ask about your dad. I wanted to ask about your challenges. Having met you a couple years ago, about a year and a half ago, I've seen you go through somewhat of a awakening journey for yourself. You went to Mexico a couple times to kind of figure out what you were going through, and your dad lives out there, right? Or
no, he lives here, but he also has a family over there now.
So
my parents split up back then. It's a long story.
So long story, but I know we talked about a year ago, and you were out there kind of soul searching, visiting your father's hometown, and I know recently you released a song with your father.
Oh, yeah.
And you filmed some of that out there, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I filmed some of that here.
Oh, okay.
Where we were working at a job.
Okay, at a job
I'm like,
site.
yo, let's do the video right now. It's a perfect opportunity, and we did it.
Yeah.
But since you're saying that, we are going to Mexico February 26th, and I'm going to record the official video. What I released was just a visualizer to support the single, but since that song's going to be in the album that I'm doing, the official music video over there in the Pueblo is going to be amazing. I already have the visuals in my head.
Yeah. I want to hear a little bit more about that journey, about, not all of us have the opportunity to go back to our parents' hometown. Even if, like myself, I've had the opportunity to travel to Mexico, but I haven't had the opportunity to go to their hometown. How was that process for you? What was that spiritual awakening like for you? And how did that translate in your music?
How can I say it? Yeah, when you're here, you feel divided. Even though we all say, oh, we're all in this together, you're only in it together when you get together. But when you go in the streets, it's a bunch of different races, a bunch of different people. You feel like you got to keep lurking your back. You don't feel safe. That's what I'm trying to say. But when I went over there, I felt so at home. Even if I wasn't in the Pueblo that I was at, I was in a different one. I felt like, dude, I am with my people. And I don't know why it took me this long for me to feel that way, but when it did, I was grateful. And I felt so safe. I felt so reassured. And now I understand why how we are here, due to the fact that when I went to the motherland, everything just, I don't know how to explain it. It just made sense in my mind. It's something that words
I think you're
can't.
so connected to to where you're from,
Yeah.
and it's almost like when you take, like a bird out of its paradise, out of its environment, and you want to put it in a cage or in an enclosure, and it's sort of like it's still a bird and it can still fly, but it doesn't really feel at home.
That's what it feels like here in the United States.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like we feel trapped. We feel stuck in this rat race. But when I went over there, I felt like I got released out of my cage and I was just flying around with my flocks. It was amazing. And then when I came back, I had it in my brain. Okay, this is who we truly are. This is our sound. This is our colors. This is our culture. And it reawakened me to change my name from Saint Sergi to Santo Del Valle. And I just went with it. I ran with it. And I'm still am.
You embraced it and you didn't look back.
Exactly.
What does El Santo del Valle represent to Sergio?
El Santo del Valle is the childhood hero I never had. Mainstream-wise, like pop culture-wise. Because the only person I ever looked up was this WWE wrestler, Rey Mysterio. Just the fact that he had it and tatted on his stomach and everything said Mexican is, that's amazing. For one of my birthdays, I actually had him. That was my theme.
Oh,
Rey Mysterio
your wrestling birthday theme?
Yeah, and I had a piñata custom made of him.
I had a clown for my 20th birthday.
Nice. How was it?
It was fun. It was all my family. It was in Peru. Like, just going back to the motherland, you feel so at home. And I remember I went in for my 20th birthday, and what 20-year-old wants to have a birthday party with a clown with their cousins and their tias? Like, I was like, let's do it. Let's bring this clown and let's have him make fun of everybody here.
The fact that you didn't care, there wasn't any worry, and you made that happen, that's how I felt. It's like you don't even have any anxiety, no social anxiety, no doubt, nothing. You felt free as who you are because you're like, this is who I am. This is my race. This is my people. Yeah. And that's what I love. And can't wait to do that again when I go.
Yeah, that sounds so exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing the videos and the updates on Instagram and all of that. It's gonna be nice.
Do you want to take a quick break?
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that sounds great. Let's take a quick little break. You guys are listening to Las Comadres on KROJ 101.5 FM. I'm Comadre Diosy.
Comadre Maria.
And we're here
Comadre
with...
Santo.
Hey, Comadre Santo.
Comadre Santo. And you guys are listening to our playlist on Spotify called Las Comadres, Locals Only, created by the one and only Alex Infinity. Alex, we love you. Thank you so much for putting in all this effort into making sure that we have some lovely tunes to share out to our community. So with that being said, we'll be right back, y'all. Hey guys, we're back. We're back with Las Comadres on KROJ 101.5 FM. This show is produced by Voces Unidas in Pacoima and Valley Views SFE Media. And we're so grateful to Pueblo y Salud, to Radio Olin, for allowing us to be a part of this platform and to be able to communicate with y'all through the airwaves. That being said, we have our guest here, El Santo del Valle. We've been getting to know a little bit about his journey as a musician, as an artist here in the San Fernando Valley, his journey in Mexico, getting to know a little bit more about himself as an individual, and connecting with his culture and his people through that experience. And so with that being said, I want to get to know a little bit about your activism. You are very you share a lot of opinions through your music.
Yes.
And that translates into like a vision that you have, right? And so I want to know, like, how does your activism and that vision, what is that vision that you see for Chicanos in the San Fernando Valley, and what are you trying to do? What are you trying to provide with your music?
Okay, so I'll answer what you said last because I want to build up to it.
Okay.
So what I do, obviously, I'm not a politician. I don't have that politician mindset when it comes to explaining things perfectly. But I am me. I am living through the experiences since a kid to who I am now. I worked through it and everything. So just this pain and the fact that we're the true backbone of society. No one bats an eye. Oh, who did that driveway? Oh, it was so and so's name. They just say, oh no, nice driveway, nice, like gentrification, right? And but who did that though? It was us. Who helped keep the streets clean? It's us. Who is the one that are getting the fruits and vegetables from, how do you say it?
From the field.
From the field
who's
to the
taking
market.
care of the kids?
Who's doing everything that's labor intense that no one else wants to do? Us.
Yeah.
And so just growing up and just having that, seeing it, contractors, for example, nothing against contractors or anything. They're making their money, great for them. But growing up, the contractors weren't of Latin descendants. There's some other people, and
Armenian,
who are the
white.
ones?
White, yeah.
But who are the one that making the most money? Them. Who's the one that doing the most job, labor intense? Us. So it's just there's no true voice that is speaking about the pain. Yeah, this Latino artist is out there and they're making fun music for us to have fun when it comes to release that pain. But for those, how like Tupac made music, he was saying like he rap about the streets, he rap about the thugs, he rap about the things that went on. Brenda had a baby, everything, all that stuff. Essentially, he's what inspired me to have that message and just have that spoken activist side in a way, because I am a victim of what's going on, but I'm not. Since I don't have, how do you say? I can't cry. I can't make myself cry. It's hard for me to do it because I was grown to be what is it, machista?
Yeah, you don't have a victim mindset. You have,
I fight. I'm a fighter.
You're a fighter.
I'm a warrior.
Yeah.
And so with that mindset, with that soul that I have and the energy that I've been blessed with, I use it to punch weight and do what I can in the best way I can, which is through music. Because I have that mindset of, okay, it sounds dope if we do this and then a sample this, I ask them the guitar here. Thanks to that construction mindset, okay, we need rebars here. We need to dig about this inches deep to put the cement. It's that type of mindset I have, but for the music. And that's my form of being an activist. It's me representing our true struggles that are being overlooked 100%. And I've been tired of it, and this is what I'm doing, and I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to stop doing it until, I don't know, until I feel going to now what's going to help with the people, what's my goal for that. I'm not going to stop doing it until I open that one door that people are afraid about, and that's being true. Once I open that, I mean, I'm not trying to... It just goes back to I'm not trying to have an ego being like, oh, it's going to be me. It's going to be... It's obviously not going to be me. It might be someone else, but it's just that mental state that I am.
Being authentic.
Exactly.
And you're contributing to the authenticity of,
That's what I want.
Our culture.
I want people to stay true to yourself, because growing up, I had a body dysmorphia. I hate the way I look back then. I was like, oh, why do I have these type of facial features? Why can't I have this specific nose? So growing up, commercials on the TV, it was just a white family living in a nice big house, everything. But there wasn't anything like, oh, we're living in,
in a small apartment, and dad works construction.
Exactly. There's nothing like that. I mean, there's slowly happening some shows of that, but back then when we were kids, that's why people get depressed now. That's why people have that mindset now. Oh, it's because we don't have that perfect life. That means our life sucks. It's not that. It's you have to accept the reality. How can you change it? And how can you learn from that and have that evolution of yourself of, you know what? I'm not going to complain about this. I'm going to fight my way through it, and I'm going to have a better future. Not just for yourself, but also for your future family, your dad. Bless you, DLC, by the way. And I want kids to not hate themselves, not try to run away from the culture, because what do? They want the new hot Jordans. They want the new, the trend chasing, essentially.
They lose themselves into consumerism and like the trend or whatever is trending, and they don't appreciate, like, for example, like you appreciate where you come from and you appreciate the struggle, And to me, it sounds like what you're doing or what you want to do is be able to record. Like it's almost like recording living history.
It's my journal.
Yeah,
to
you're recording because like Tupac, you mentioning Tupac, he was a poet, so he was recording the things that he was experiencing and the stuff that people around him were experiencing.
Exactly my inspiration for that.
Right. So that's sort of what I see you doing is you're recording your experiences as a Chicano, as a construction worker, as a son of immigrants.
Yeah.
You are doing that. And that's a lovely way of performing your art because eventually you don't know what's going to happen in 40 years and you might be that Tupac situation where they're studying you in classes. I remember going to school at CSUN and one of the classes that one of my philosophy classes was in, it was like a shared room. And the class before that was a literary class. And one time they were going through Tupac because they left on the board exactly how he was a poet and exactly like how he was portraying his art and that it wasn't just rap music that was some kind of, bad influence. This was his experiences and how he was relating those experiences and portraying them so that like there is someone that can be like, oh, that's my struggle too.
Exactly. Because like I said, it goes back to us being the backbone of society and being overlooked 100%. So I just want to be that inspiration for kids. Like, thankfully, as an adult, I'm able to see, they became doctors. The son and daughters of immigrants, they became doctors. They became nurses. They became something other than just living below minimum wage, Like, I'm thankful for that. But there, like she said, there's a bunch of little kids, or kids in general, being under consumerism. I want to change that mindset, and I want them to be proud for who they are. I want them to represent them to the fullest, especially here in the United States. When everyone got together and closed that freeway, that was the closest we ever had in LA for unity in a while. And so just imagine if all of us, different races, by races I mean like different, how do you say it? Not just Mexicans, like,
people from all over. Just the melting pot that is Los Angeles. You have Central American, South America, like just in this room. I'm from South America. You're from Mexico. Like right outside our producers from El Salvador. So, we have there's beauty and there's so much that we can appreciate from each other's differences
but we have a lot of similarities.
And we need to realize that too.
And so if we push all that little things away and we all get together, how much can we really close down? Is it enough for us to, close the system? To us to show them, don't ever overlook us. Give us our respect. And not just to other people. I'm talking about the whole world in general. The government of the United States, everything. And so I just want to be that little spark of hope to start something. And that's just my personal belief, but that's what I want.
We need it right now.
Yeah, we need it, and I think that it's about showing everybody that. I think we were saying this yesterday. Like, you don't have to be, you don't have to be this like super rich, successful person to be like a role model, to be a mentor. You just have to be willing to take the life lessons that you have been given and be willing to teach those to others and to be gentle, to be kind, to be compassionate. And I think that that's something that you're kind of doing through your music, through your work. You connect with community a lot. You work with a lot of other artists in the community, some of them being our own friends. Here you have a lot of music out with Daniel Molina. I know that you work with Jose the Panda too. And so, it's we know that the work that they do as well in the community is, it's also to help the community. It's also to awaken the community.
What you said is fact, because I don't want to pat myself on the back, but
you should.
You should, yeah.
I mean, because it's what I'm going to say right now. Because what I'm going to say right now.
We're patting you in the back.
When I hit up Jose back then in 2017, I dropped out of high school. I told him, let's do music I'll invest in a studio, and it was just like a speaker and a little console, and I bought the thing. That's pretty much it to begin with. But he was about to give up on his music journey. He was gonna call it quits and then just do what everyone does, and
Get to work.
yeah. And I joined. I did that, and I'm proud to see what he has now. He just released an EP, and he's going strong with it. Molina, I'm sorry for this, but it's a true story with Molina. He hit me up through DM. He said, "Hey, can we meet up tonight, like, and just talk?" And I told him, "Yeah, let's do it." And I haven't seen him since high school. And so he came and he told me, "Is it too late for me to do music?" And I told him it's not. And I took him to the studio where I was, doing music with Jose back then. And look at it, look where he's at right now. It's amazing. It's just the fact that you just got to be accepting people. And that's pretty much because you never know how it will affect your life in a great way, positive way, how it will affect their life. If, like I said, if we all get together,
I love that.
what mark can we leave? If one person was able to do that, how can everyone do something? You know?
It's lovely because at that moment you didn't see him as competition. You could have been like, no, this is my plug, this is my equipment, this is my connection. I don't want to share. But you didn't see it like that. And I think we need more of that because right now, like I said, it's really scary and it really feels divided. And some folks are scared of going to the grocery store. Some kids are scared of their parents going to work or them going to school and not coming back to their parents. So, that spirit of unity and the fact that you all have known each other since you were, older teenagers and now you're young adults and you're continuing that journey together. And I also just want to mention that it's really lovely and refreshing and positive to see an artist like yourself not portray themselves as angry because it's so easy to take those struggles and all of those barriers and all of those obstacles that you face or that your father has faced, your grandfather, your family, to be like, no, it's hard in me, it's hard in them, and I'm going to take this craft and it's going to be bad. It's going to be angry. And I don't see your music like that. I see it as, yes, it's a struggle, but we're going to get through it.
Because we got faith. That's why. Faith is what drives us, and that's what drives me. Going back to being angry, I could have been drinking alcohol. I could have been doing this and drawing my sorrows. I'm not doing that. I'm non-alcoholic. I'm California sober. Let's just say that.
Hey, California.
Sober. But it's just, I'm just happy to be where I'm at, thankfully.
Well, we're happy to be a part of, this journey in whatever way that we can and to have you here with us, and we are coming up to the last 7 or so minutes of our show. And I really want to give you just, the opportunity to connect with maybe the elders or the younger folks of the community, maybe both. And what is your message to the younger folks of the community? What is your message to the older folks of the community? And, what do you want them to take out of this conversation?
For the younger community, I want to tell them, whatever you have in your heart, say it out your mouth and it will come to pass because you did it. Just trust yourself, trust your gut instincts, and trust your heart. And it's true what they say, follow your heart. It's that's cheesy, it's a line, but it's true.
It's very true. Yeah.
Yes, the road's going to be long for most. Some can get a lucky break immediately. I'm one of the unfortunate ones, but I don't care because I don't care about that. All I care is the fact that I am free to do this. Just keep doing it. Don't quit. The road is long. The road is narrow, but it will help shape and mold you to be the person who you are. Trust me. I've been through a bunch of worst possible situations and scenarios that anyone could have had. I've been living in the house without running water and electricity for about 2 years, like a while ago when I was like 18, 19. And thankfully the neighbors were forcing us to, connect the hose from their house to our house. And obviously we paid them and stuff until we had to fully pay up the $10,000 for the water, power, and bill. I've been through a lot of loss of cousins due to that, due to the drug abuse of them. I've been through it's just so many things, but it didn't stop me to do this because I know that pain, if I turn it into something positive, it will do me wonders. And I did it. So don't stop, follow your heart, keep doing it, push yourself to the limit, and just don't fall under pressure into forcing yourself to live what the government wants you to do. Do what you want to do, and you'll be a much happier person. And for the older generation, the older folks, I just want to tell them thank you so much for everything you guys have done. Without you, this wouldn't be possible. I wouldn't have a way to have my voice out there to speak about the experiences. Your sacrifices and struggles aren't lost. It's only just the beginning of something beautiful. So I just want to tell you thank you so much for everything you've done. I'm blessed and fortunate to do this because of you guys. If it wasn't for you guys, I don't know how it would be, honestly. You know, because it's a lot of people from back then. Look at Ruben, the
founder from. He's the director of Pueblo Salud.
He did music a lot, and he's been an activist too. And just look at if thanks to him, we got this area here.
Yeah.
You know, so I just want to just thank you guys for the struggles, like I said. And I hope you guys are doing great. I don't know how to explain it.
They're not in vain. It's worth it because now we have this platform,
thanks
and
to them.
we can talk about, you know, our activism, what worries us, and then we have a platform to give to artists and community members that want to express themselves. And we're really just very thankful and fortunate for your time today. And before we go, where can we find you and how can people keep up with you?
You can find me at any social platform, mainly Instagram, El Santo del Valle. You can listen to my music on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Prime, YouTube, wherever you listen to music, El Santo del Valle. It's just exactly how I'm saying it. It's exactly how you should type it up.
El Santo del Valle.
El Santo del Valle. Well, guys, you heard it here. Hope you guys enjoyed today's conversation. You know, it's been quite the year already, like we've been saying every single episode since the year started. But we are really happy, you know, to be sharing space with you, to be in community with you. Our next show is going to be Monday, the 24th. And we're going to have Erica Storm joining us that day, which is another local musician here in the San Fernando Valley. And she performs all over. As I've been keeping up with her on social media, seeing that they're very active. And so I just want to remind everyone that you guys are tuned into KROJ 101.5 FM. We're coming to you guys live from our studios here in Pueblo Salud in the city of San Fernando, broadcasting out of the city of Panorama City. And we're just wrapping up our show here. We're excited to be in community with y'all, like I was saying. But yeah, Erica Storm on Monday the 24th. Tune in if you guys are free, and if not, we are available on Instagram. We're post our shows on YouTube. And want to give a quick shout out to our producers outside and director Daniel Molina and Mike True Price. Thank you guys so much. Shout out to Melissa and Teodora, Zacarias and Alex Infinity. Bye, y'all.
Bye.